What's up, gamers? In this video I'm going to show you how I did a custom Karate Kid NES controller. Coming up!
Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Let's find out!
Alright, well first things first, we need to take apart the NES controller. I'm just using a small screwdriver to take out the 6 screws in the back of it. And it's handy to have a little tray that's magnetic so you can drop these in so you don't lose them. That's what I have to my right there. And voila, there's the innards of an NES controller. Pretty simple circuit board. And there's all the buttons, select, and the D-pad. We'll take care of those after. Now what I'm grabbing here is an X-Acto knife. And this is just to get up the sticker overlay here. I get it right under the sticker so I can peel it up and take it off just like that. Little Goo Gone. This will take any of the adhesion that is left on the controller and just dab it on and rub it in. And I put that aside and let it sit for a couple minutes. Now this is alcohol, rubbing alcohol you can get at the store, and I mix it with water, 50-50, and this is my cleaning solution. So let's clean up all these parts. Toothbrush does wonders. Let's get all the rubber pieces there and then dry them off with a microfiber, and they come out nice and clean, and we'll just put them aside for later. Now I'm just agitating the Goo Gone that's left on there and cleaning it up with the alcohol solution as well. It gets all that grime and grit right off there. Preparation is key. For those hard to reach places, I'm using a little Q-tip to get in there and get that grime. You want to make sure the paint and whatever you're putting on this is going to adhere to it. So if there's any dirt left, it won't. Look at that thing, it looks brand new now. Alright, we're just going to hit it with some 60 grit sandpaper. Reason I'm doing this is it puts some scratches into the controller, and this is going to give it something to bite to with either you're putting paint or in this case I'll be putting clay. This is epoxy sculpt. It's a 2-part clay, so once you mix both parts together 50-50%, it ends up hardening, and we're going for that bamboo look. So I got a little bit left here. It's a little hard to get out, but once you get it mixed in, then it's nice and easy to work with. Just roll it around and make sure it's thoroughly mixed in solid color, just like that. You can tell the inside's not darker, and it's ready to go. So now basically I just want to apply a layer over the entire back of the controller. And if I do cover up any of the screw ports, I just use the screwdriver right there to make sure the hole's there. And you can use a little bit of water on your finger here to smooth out the clay. It takes a while for it to dry, so once you put it down, you can use the water to kind of smooth it out so it looks nice and flush and pretty. And this is just a long metal ruler, and I'm going to use it to make the bamboo that goes across. Little indentations, so it looks like each little bamboo stick is right across there. And then just a flathead screwdriver to puncture a little bit of the clay so it looks like separation in the bamboo. Now on the front of the controller, obviously I don't have to do the whole thing because the overlay sticker is going to be there. But I'm using the X-Acto here to make sure I keep that area clean. Otherwise, when I go to lay the sticker down, it's not going to sit properly. So this is overnight. It's finally cured up and nice and hard and solid. So I'm going to take some sandpaper to get any of those high spots down. And this way it'll get it ready for paint. And it takes about 24 hours for this stuff to cure. Again, just doing some cleanup with a toothbrush and my rubbing alcohol solution. This way it'll be nice and ready for paint. Nice and clean. Some of the clay did get stuck in where the screw holes are right here, so that poses a problem. Nothing a drill and a drill bit can't fix though. 5/64 is the bit you'll need. And this first one here just punctured right through. I didn't have to drill it out. But other ones were a little bit more stubborn. Just use an X-Acto knife to clean up the back, and this way the screw has a place to go through and attach to the controller. Alright, we got a rough assemble right now just to make sure everything fits in there, but the cord comes out good. Actually feels okay in the hand, and the buttons seem to be pressing good. So next step is going to be painting this to look like bamboo, so let's get to that. Now here's the bamboo. We're gonna be using multiple colors, some browns, yellows, a little bit of green, just to achieve that look, some blacks as well in between the bamboo post. And I'm just using your generic craft paint. You can find this at Walmart, AC Moore, Michaels, any of those craft stores. They're like $1 or so per little jar here. So just get an assortment colors and you're good to go. Alright, we're putting the first base coat down. Essentially, you want to do light coats on this and get your base structure down. I'm going with brown because the bamboo is about a brown color, but it's about building those layers up, putting different colors on, and you're getting that different texture to it. This is what makes it more realistic. I'm just brushing some light paint on top, and now we're going to make a black wash essentially to make that grit and grind. Just add a little bit of water to it so it's very diluted, and you paint it in and then rub it off right away. And it gets down in those grooves and everything and shows that separation of the bamboo. Really starts bringing the piece to life. Now I'm just adding some green highlights in there from the picture of the actual bamboo. There were some spots with green in it. Alright, we're getting there, looking pretty good. I'm going to just do a little bit more weathering in those deep cracks and everything using my black wash that I made here. A little bit of water, a little bit of acrylic paint, so it's a very watery solution. This way it could get down deep into all these crevices that I made, making the shadows and everything appear more realistic and get that nice weathering effect on there. You can be very generous with it on the piece, and then you're just going to wipe a majority of it off. So anything that's on the surface right now just gets wiped away, and you get those nice deep shadows and everything like that. And also I like to put the controller together. This way when you're painting all the edges around, it will kind of match up too. So I'm going to do some of that weathering while it's together here, get that black wash. So it looks more uniform, so it doesn't look like you painted the pieces separately. And to help with drying, I do have a small fan off to the side here, and I just put a little piece of wood or something under it so it's like leveled down towards the project itself, just so you have moving air over it. This helps with the drying time in between the multiple coats that are redoing with the paint while you're building up those layers. So just turn it on and go do something else. Alright, now we're going to get ready for some paint. Make sure you guys wear your respirator mask. And we're going to throw on some clear coat. I'm using Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear Enamel. Really enjoy using this clear coat. Again, with this, it's light coats. I do about 3 coats, 10 to 15 minutes in between each coat. And a little tip, if it's cold out, you can put your spray can in some warm water to warm up the paint. Just make sure you shake it thoroughly before using it. And there's the nice shine it gives. Gonna give it full 24 hours to dry and cure though. But it turned out awesome, gives it a nice protectant coat and looks nice and shiny. Boom, 24 hours later. Ready to touch it, it's good to go. I'm just gonna throw the overlay on that came in the mail. The Karate Kid! Yes! Finally, the controller's coming together. Love that 8-bit graphic. It pops so much over this bamboo too. It looks really awesome. Now it's just left to put back all the buttons and the rubber membranes and the circuit board and test this bad boy out to make sure it still works. And the circuit board just snaps in like that, and you just have to snake the wire around and we'll clamshell clamp it together. And of course the last step is to put the screws back in, and since we drilled out the holes in there, they'll be able to fit and tighten up nicely. I usually do a cross pattern when I'm assembling it, so go from the right side to the left side and then tackle the middle. Well guys, I hope you found that informative and fun. The controller came out great, looking like the bamboo and weathered and everything. It feels actually pretty good in the hand. Gives a little bit extra grip with that raised structure in the back, but overall I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I'm going to be sending it out to my buddy Tyler from Generation Gap Gaming, and hopefully he's going to enjoy it being in his collection. If you guys want to check out any other custom NES controllers that he did, I'll have a playlist so you can check them all out. I'm going to be doing plenty in the future, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any. And as always, gamers, I'm RussLyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit. I'll see you next video. And I want to give a super shout out to my Patreon supporters: Dan Buchanan, Joey Ellis, George Sandoval, Joseph Riviera, Nintendo, Joe Sheevy, David Apuzzo, Maynard, Brian Culpepper, TechWizX, Retro Bros, Matthew Hannigan, Diehard Gamer Bros, Alex Cods, and everyone on my Patreon. Link below if you want to join, and I'll see you later.